We have details of these and more in the next hour. Stay with us.
Let's start off the bulletin from here. The National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons say more than 100 individuals have surrendered their guns less than a week after government declared a gun amnesty. Executive Secretary of the Commission, Dr. Adam Bona, warned that after January 25, any person found with unlicensed small arm will be treated as a criminal.
The proliferation of small arms and light weapons remains one of the most pressing security challenges. These illegal firearms are often at the heart of violence that destabilizes communities, requiring coordinated, multi-sectoral and sustained action. A surge in violent crime has pushed government to revive a national gun amnesty. Security figures shows 1,219 robbery cases and 552 murders recorded in 2024. And by July this year, police had already confirmed 628 armed robbery cases and 340 murders, all involving illicit weapons. Executive Secretary of the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons, Dr. Adam Bona, says the amnesty will run from December 1, 2025 to January 15, 2026. The program is expected to give the public a penalty-free window to surrender illegal firearms.
Until the 1st of December, anyone who was in possession of a weapon, if it was found on you at home, you couldn't plead and say that, oh, I plead that I don't know. Now you can pick it up and bring it to call us at the small arms, call the police, and the weapon they will be collected from you. There are other people who, for one reason or the other, feel that I will not be able to take the weapon myself to the designated point for collection or to surrender. If you call us also, we should be able to come to you with the necessary documentation and collect the weapon from you.
Dr. Adam Bona warned that anyone who refuses to surrender their illicit weapon after the deadline will be treated as a criminal.
Most of the people who have called us to come for weapons will tell you that this weapon, my dad or my husband was maybe an ex-military officer, an ex-police officer, an ex-immigration officer, and he acquired these weapons, he's dead and gone, and I don't need them. I think it's not safe for me and my children, and so kindly come and collect them. If they don't, and the amnesty time expires, then you become someone who could be arrested if information leads us to you having a weapon that you have not surrendered and you shouldn't be keeping. Then you will be prosecuted.
According to the Minister for the Interior, security mapping shows 77 hotspots in the Ashanti region and 88 in the Central region, many located in Galamsey areas where illegal weapons are most prevalent. Citizens are being urged to hand in such weapons or invite the Commission to pick them. Joseph Armstrong, Gold, Alego TV3, Accra.
Let's go deeper into the amnesty conversation, and that brings us to some expert analysis. Richard Kumado is a security consultant joining us. Mr. Kumado, good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Let's start off with this. About 100 people have voluntarily submitted their weapons. Is this a good signal?
Initiative is a good one. We've had about 100 people. We might say it is very small within this time, but to have 100 people at the start is a very good one. What we needed to do more is to create a public education that is needed and to make sure that the general public is aware of the points of collection and the methodologies for which they can surrender their arms. And we thank you guys in the media for creating opportunities for the public education and creating awareness in that regard. And I believe that even at the end of the day, when the expiring date reach and many more people still have arms in their houses, I want to believe that my brother Adam Bona and the Minister of Interior may extend the date. But so far, so good. We should keep with the public pace of the public education. And I believe many more people will surround their arms.
Beyond the amnesty, what next, Richard?
What next is that it's a non-knowledge that illegal arms have created many more public safety challenges for us in this country. They are arms in the hands of illegitimate people, and to the extent that armed robbery has become one of our major internal security breach key elements. The police mustn't stop. The Small Arms Commission mustn't stop, even though the time is up. They mustn't stop. We have to continue this discussion. We have to continue this campaign. We have to continue this exercise deep into the year, next year, and make sure that we pick all those arms from the hands of illegitimate people that will easily use it to cause many more public safety challenges for us as a nation.
Dr. Dambona, while speaking to the media, he said this, that a lot of the guns that have been returned are guns that, if you like, have been inherited. Now, my question then will be, what sort of motivation do we need to give to people who did not inherit guns, who have the motive of using the guns for other vices? Armed robbers, for instance, you mentioned it. These are the people we need to return their guns so that it reduces the crime. How do we do that?
Okay, so there are various categorizations when it comes to people with guns and why they will want to return the guns and why others might not want to return it. We are speaking predominantly about people who inherited a gun. But there might be people who also legitimately own these guns and they have failed to register it, or their licenses for possessing the gun have expired. We have to make provision for such people. We also have categories of people who import guns into this country as a legitimate business. We will need to look at their due diligence within that aspect. Other than that, there might be people who brought in these guns that the licensing regime for possessing the gun and selling same has expired. We need to make provision for such people. But when we answer the question directly, who will not want to surrender the gun, I believe that is why Adabuna is making the point that it becomes an illegal trade. It becomes a business that you could face the prosecutions of the law. And I don't want to believe that people will want to wait and the amnesty will be over and feel the full rigors of the law. They will have to be encouraged to return their guns. And if for some reason their licenses have expired and they have not returned the gun, then they have to speak to the police, who are custodians of this particular procedure, and also speak to the Arms Commission. And I believe they are going to find a way. Other than that, when you even look at those who manufacture guns in this country, the locally manufactured custodians of guns in this country is another area we need to segment and deal with them as a geographical zone or as a national security risk element. What are the processes and the procedure there? Some of them will not fall within this particular amnesty because it's a business they are engaged in. Aspects of their business also have the elements of creating public safety challenges, and we will have to deal with them accordingly by the procedure we have set for ourselves.
Thank you. Richard Kumado is a fraud and a security consultant sharing his expertise with us there. Let's do some other stories tonight.
Right. The Office of the Special Prosecutor in the past few weeks faced criticism, with some members of Parliament and some Ghanaians accusing it of underperforming despite billions allocated since 2018. Some have even called for the scrapping of the office, a move others believe will be detrimental to Ghana's anti-corruption fight. There's more in this report.
The Office of the Special Prosecutor has come under fire as some Ghanaians are accusing the office of achieving much despite the huge amounts allocated to the office since its establishment in 2018. From 2018 to the end of 2026, the office will have been allocated more than 1.18 billion Ghana cedis. The cause for its dissolution intensified when Special Prosecutor claimed he was unable to take action when he had information then Finance Minister Ken Furiata was leaving Ghana. Then came the arrest and detention of lawyer Martin Pebu for hours by the office during the week. For Majority Chief Whip Roxy Nelson Dapiamekpo, the Office of the Special Prosecutor must be abolished if it continues to abuse the rights of Ghanaians.
One of our seasoned lawyers, the lawyer Martin Pebu, was invited by our Office of the Special Prosecutor. He presented himself willingly and somehow he got detained. Mr. Speaker, we cannot do this at this time. The Office of the Special Prosecutor has abused its powers in this matter. And I will not hesitate to say that this House, we created the office. And the Office of the Special Prosecutor, if it continues to abuse its powers, then we may have to abrogate it.
Majority Leader Mahama Yariga wants Parliament reiterated his call for the office to be abolished.
I have consistently held the position that fighting corruption is not about littering the place with institutions. I honestly think we should abolish it because we've experimented it and we cannot see any achievement. Major cases of clear corruption, up to date, the office has not been able to do anything. So it cannot do anything. If the institution of Attorney General that we establish in our Constitution is adequately resourced and protected by Parliament and held accountable by Parliament, I believe that that office will equally deliver.
Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagben recalled his view during the consideration of the bill to set up the office of the Special Prosecutor about the lack of constitutional basis.
During the deliberation on the OSP, a number of us stated on the floor of this House that there's no constitutional basis. But we wanted to signal to the world that we are going to fight corruption. At the end of the day, we have seen the results. And we cannot continue to allocate that huge sums to the same office when we are not getting the results. It's getting almost the same amount like the Attorney General's Department. Please, let's face the bull by the horns and make sure that the right thing is done. And so I agree with the majority leader.
But speaking of the key points, CEO of the National Petroleum Authority, Gordon Eduji Tamaklu, said the call to abolish the office of the Special Prosecutor is a political trap. He argues that the OSP can remain, but if the occupants are established to have abused the office, anyone can petition for actions to be taken.
Unlike the justices of the Court of Appeal, that once you are appointed, if you are appointed at age 50, until you get 70 years, you'll be there. This one, Parliament cleverly, circumscribed the law to say that after 7 years, you have to go home. For me, it was a clever thing to do. So that if you have a special prosecutor who had become overly, abusive of that office, that can be controlled. Two, most importantly, the office is subject to Article 146. Why? Article 146 proceedings have been removed used to remove even constitutionally independent office holders. Electoral Commission, SHRAJ, and even now a Chief Justice of the Republic. So Parliament, in creating this law, provided enough safeguards in the law to check excesses.
Vice President of Imani Africa and private legal practitioner Kofi Bento, who was also on the key point, said if the person occupying the office of the Special Prosecutor are inept, they should be removed, not to close down the entire institution.
In pursuance of that, they are given some police powers, not plenary police powers. So indeed, I am saying here, and I'm asking Sami Dakon, who I've been bantering with on Facebook, they didn't have any jurisdiction to arrest Martin Kpebu.
They didn't have any jurisdiction?
Oh,
absolutely.
They didn't have any jurisdiction. Look, Martin Kpebu said somebody is corrupt. He said, you are inept. Please, if you don't have the skin to hear criticism from citizens, don't take public office. Don't go there. It is Martin Kpebu's right as a citizen to say whatever he wants to say to anybody, with all due respect, from President Mahama down to anybody in public office. If you are offended, sue him in defamation. In fact, if, with all due respect, even if he insults you, it is not a crime. And we don't have time to go into all these things, but you must understand that these are the things that the Constitution does for a liberal society. There are a lot of things to say, and for me, my interest is really that we don't ride on this to give a dog a bad name and hang it, because it's taken a lot of work for us to get this OSP thing done. And it's, however, going into this argument about scrapping the whole office. By the Constitution, petitions go to the President. And the proper investigation is done according to the Constitution, not by the OSP.
For co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption and the member of the Edem Senanu, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has done well so far in the fight against corruption in Ghana, although more can be done.
It appeared to be bipartisan agreement now, and they suddenly went to the extent of saying, let's scrap the office. How do you jump when you have not invited, you have not spoken to the special prosecutor, found out what transpired on the day, and then you jump to, let's scrap the office? How do you compare an OSP office that has 7 years and counting, and at least 3 or 4 of those years, they didn't even have an office, they didn't have staff till 2 years ago?
And now to issues on climate resilience. Government of Ghana, through the Environmental Protection Authority, has launched the National Adaptation Plan, NAP 2025. According to the EPA, the National Adaptation Plan provides a comprehensive strategic framework to integrate climate change adaptation into Ghana's national, sectorial and district-level development planning.
Faces increasing climate risks, changing rainfall patterns, rising temperatures, coastal erosion, flooding, and more frequent extreme weather events. These threaten livelihoods, agriculture, food security, ecosystems, infrastructure, and ultimately national development. The adaptation planning process began in June 2020, and over the past years, the plan has undergone rigorous technical and governance reviews. The National Adaptation Plan, NAP, identifies Ghana's adaptation priorities and outlines sector-specific and district-specific actions.
All of us should take steps that would not lead us into enhancing the climate change menace. We want to, as much as possible, reduce this vulnerability that people who suffer out of the climate change issues. And we want to ensure resilience, that everybody would be able to adapt to the climate change.
The plan also establishes systems for coordination, financing, implementation, monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning.
Knowledge alone takes away about 60% of the problem or 40% of the order. So I think the first thing we should be able to understand that the times are not good. So we should change the way we are doing things. Then it comes to the way we design our infrastructure, engineering, to make them climate resilient. This has to be looked at. So holistically, there are challenges across the country, infrastructure-wise. Development and climate has an relationship. It can be positive, it can be negative.
The NAP offers a roadmap to proactively address these challenges rather than react after disaster strike. NAP 2025 shows Ghana is aligning with global efforts to integrate climate resilience into national development frameworks. In a world where climate risks are rising, having a national science-backed, consultative adaptation plan positions Ghana among countries taking proactive steps to safeguard their future.
And yam farmers in the Pandai districts of the northern region are struggling to stay afloat as poor road infrastructure and the absence of storage facilities continue to threaten their livelihoods. Stanley Niblo reports that the situation is undermining one of Ghana's most productive yam-growing enclaves with increased post-harvest losses and reduced market access.
Across farming communities in Pandai, transport operators and farmers navigate some of the most difficult roads in northern Ghana. The farm gates are linked to the district capital by roads riddled with craters. Commutes that should take minutes now take hours. And for yam, one of the most perishable tubers, delays are costly. Among the worst affected routes is the Pandai-Salaga Road, a strategic corridor considered the shortest route to the northern regional capital, Tamale. The road was awarded on contract in 2018 with some culvert and gravel filling completed. But after the 2020 elections and the defeat of the then MP, Matthew Nyindam, the project stalled. Since then, the road has been left in abandonment. Today, portions of the route are nearly impassable. At Tenglento, deep craters have turned into stagnant water pools, now serving as swimming spots for ducks. At Kojoboni, a culvert meant to channel water safely is collapsing, posing grave risk for motorists, cyclists, and traders who depend on the road daily. Road users say they are reeling under the prevailing road conditions. For many residents, the Kpandai-Salaga Road must be urgently captured under the government's Big Push agenda to ensure swift action.
What I'm saying is that I want this road to be added to the Big Push, Jomama Big Push. As at now, if it's not so, we are going to go on demonstration for this by-election. It will not help. In Kpanda constituency here, Big Push, Minister of Finance, Minister of Road and Highways, President Jomama to come and speak about this road. I swear, if it, without that, Tenglento will not vote. We will not vote. That is my issue.
But the Kpandai-Salaga stretch is only one of several roads crippling economic activity. Residents point to adjoining feeder roads that have also deteriorated, cutting farmers off from markets and delaying evacuation of yam.
I think that the Kpandai-Salaga road is a major problem we face here in the district. Kpandai-Salaga road, Kpandai and Kanchina road, where we have our only tertiary school, that's the Kanchina nursing. Then Kpandai, Kumundi, Gulbi Quarters, Loloto, Jamboy, Pajai. To that stretch, it's also a major problem.
Under the District Road Improvement Program, DRIP, Kpandai is one of the districts supplied with road maintenance machinery intended to reshape key farm roads. But almost all the equipment remains stationary, parked for months, near the Kpandai police station. The reason, there is no dedicated funding for fuel or operational support to deploy the equipment. District Chief Executive Haruna Abdul Karim says he's eager to put the machines to work, but the financial constraints are glaring.
I think Kpandai district is no different from other districts in the country. We face the same challenge.
The consequences of the failing infrastructure come into sharp focus at the Kpandai yam market, where heaps of yam arrived bruised, rotten or broken. Traders say post-harvest losses have worsened, with many blaming the long delays and vibrations caused by the poor roads. A trader who has been in the yam business for 15 years says the district urgently needs proper storage facilities to complement road repairs. She says without storage systems, farmers and traders are forced to sell yam at cheaper rates just to avoid total spoilage, further pushing them into debt and discouraging production. The challenges confronting yam farmers in Kpandai represent more than just poor roads. They point to a system failing to protect a vital agricultural hub. Without immediate investment in road rehabilitation, full support for drip equipment, and modern storage facilities, the district risks losing its competitive edge as one of Ghana's leading yam producers. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Kpandai.
And still in farming, for decades, poaching has drawn many residents of Achim Jadem into farming. But in recent times, inadequate inputs and the growing threat of illegal mining, they are undermining their potential.
The Brim Central Municipality in the Eastern Region is one of Ghana's rich agricultural belt, with inhabitants predominantly engaged in farming. Achim Jadem, in the Brim Central Municipality of the Eastern Region, is known for its cassava and cocoa production. Their crops help sustain households, and the output plays a vital role in boosting Ghana's gross domestic product, thereby supporting overall economic stability. Yet, the challenges continue to mount for these farmers. I met Francis Appiah, a farmer at Achim Jadem. He can no longer expand his cocoa and palm plantation as illegal mining activities have taken over, portions of arable land. Access to farmland in the area has become a persistent struggle. Lands for cocoa have been taken over by Galamsey at 20 acres of land, but some portion has been taken off. Another for palm plantation. Because of Galamsey, I could do only 5. Meanwhile, I could have done more than that. Francis Sapia is happy about the recent increase in cocoa prices to 3,600, but he's worried that without land and the intensive demands of the cocoa sector, the impact will be limited. The cocoa prices is okay, but it is capital intensive. For some of Kwabena Owusu, poor roads, outdated farming technology, and difficulties in assessing input are further reducing productivity. Government needs to support us with a lot of inputs. Our roads, we hope they will be fixed before the next election. The future of farming in Achim Jadim in the Brim Central Municipality of the Eastern Region hangs in the balance as these challenges intensify. For farmers to continue earning a livelihood and growing crops to feed not only the region but all of Ghana, traditional leaders, local assembly, and the government, which holds state authority, must take action to protect and preserve.
Let's stay with the subject of illegal mining because Deputy Director of Operations of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, Lieutenant Colonel Joshua Satekla, has identified interference from influential individuals and a critical lack of logistics as major obstacles in the fight against illegal mining. Addressing the Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives, MMDCs, in the Western region, he announced that NIMOS is scheduled to deploy its first contingent of 50 officers to the region in the coming days. Here's Rama Smith's report.
To streamline anti-illegal mining operations across various local assemblies, the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, has briefed the 14 Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives and 2 regional police commanders in the Western region. The briefing focused on clarifying their collective role in combating the menace within their jurisdictions and securing their support for the first set of officers scheduled for deployment to the region. Deputy Director of Operations, Lieutenant Colonel Joshua Satekla, while outlining NIMOS's mandate to enforce strict no-go zones, emphasized the necessity of full local assembly support, while stressing that a unified effort is critical to curbing illegal mining operations.
You are with the community, you know the people, you know what they do, you encounter them and everything. So now we just need from you to also understand that this mandate given to us by His Excellency is something that's really is key to him and to all of us, that we need to win this fight. We are not in to stop mining, no, but then we are in to stop illegal mining and people mining in these key priority areas that I mentioned earlier. So there's the need for us to work together.
The 50 officers to be deployed will be stationed across 3 areas, the Elembele District, Ahanta West Municipality and Wasa Amefi East Municipality, and will also supervise the operations of the other assemblies. However, Lieutenant Colonel Joshua Satekla noted that the effort faces major obstacles, primarily interferences from influential individuals and a critical shortage of logistics.
As every institution has certain things that worries it is not different from us. We also have a lot of challenges, but we'll just look at the 2 key challenges. This is interference from influential people. We have that from the politicians, the chiefs, other key stakeholders in the various areas where we have worked, and it's a big problem, which I think we need to discuss. The other key problem is logistics. To move all these things, for now, we need to move from Accra to wherever we are going, and it's a matter of moving with vehicles. And these vehicles will definitely suffer breakdown because of the terrain where we find ourselves working.
The MMDCs have expressed support for the new collaborative framework with NIMOS.
So I think going forward, the collaboration between NIMOS and the MMDCs will be a better, solution in resolving the guarantee menace in the country.
So the coming of NIMOS will beef up the momentum. So we really appreciate it. The collaboration will be very effective.
I understand that one of the stations is going to be at my place. And I'm happy because it will help for us to make sure that we do our daily rounds. And then it's not that you go today, tomorrow the Galamseyers will come back. This one, they are going to be stationed there and it's going to help us a lot.
Irama Smith, TV3 News, Western Region.
Well, talking about solutions, the government through the Minerals Development Fund is proposing what it describes as a sustainable initiative to addressing the recurrent issue of illegal mining, also known as galamsey. Would this new technology provide the needed solution for the continued degradation of the environment? Let's get the answers in this report filed by William Evazinkum.
The fight against illegal mining has over the years been a complex one. Several adopted strategies by government have failed to stem the tide. The road to recovery has been dangerous.
Despite the obvious damage it causes to our environment, entire communities mobilize and confront security personnel.
Heightened security. Frustration galore. Leadership of the small-scale miners say they have been at the receiving end.
We, the miners, have always maintained one position, that we are ready to mine responsibly if the right tools and the right training and the right technology is being given to us.
Could the Minerals Development Fund Modular Sustainable Tenki Initiative be the answer?
The new transformational model for sustainable small-scale mining that can be replicated across all mining communities in Ghana.
This is locally engineered technology and eco-friendly. Here at Hudiem, the Ahafo, Western North and Bono region ministers joined the MDF administrator to learn the new technology, which will ameliorate the negative impact of illegal mining.
For years, the question has been why the degradation and pollution of the environment. The question has been how do we get the right technology in changing the narrative as far as environmental degradation caused by the activities of illegal mining is concerned. To the MDF, the answer is here, and that is the new 10K technology that they hope will change the narrative, ensure responsible mining and its sustainability. William Evansinkum, TV3 News, Hudiem, Ahafo Region.
And it is Ghana's largest agricultural export spanning several decades, yet has never been cultivated on large scale in the northern parts of the country due to the weather conditions of northern Ghana. Today, that long-standing belief has been challenged by a 34-year-old local farmer, Mohammed Enchala, who hails from Sanlayili in the Nanumba North municipality of the northern region.
For several decades, experts have said cocoa could not thrive on soils in the northern regions. These long-standing findings prevented many from venturing into cocoa cultivation. Cocoa thrives in average temperatures between 21 degrees Celsius and 32 degrees Celsius, with stable conditions and annual rainfall between 1,000 and 2,000 millimeters, and no dry period exceeding 3 months. The northern regions of Ghana have a distinct savanna climate with a long dry season, unlike the southern parts of the country, which have humid high rainfall rainforest zones traditionally known for cocoa. However, in Salnayili, in the northern region, 34-year-old local farmer Mohammed Enchala is beginning to change this long-standing belief. Enchala, also known as the cocoa crache of the north, has been cultivating cocoa since 2012.
Me started about 4 years mu de na manya kakra bi. Na 3 years no kra na mitimi nya baako. Na 4 years de mitimi nya ba te say a quarter of a bag kra kotone. Nti mititi ni saa kakra ko duro be some 5 months 5 years no mu na papa so yare. Nti mi gya kokon no gunwuro ma me ne obusuane bia o me gisa me ne papa no kwa na enua na me nua no mu nyina so mu ni ha.
The sight of his plantation alone is enough to dispel the long-held doubts about the crop's survival and viability. According to him, he almost gave up on his 2-acre cocoa farm after a devastating bushfire ravaged it. Despite not receiving any support from Cocoa Board or other organizations, his story is one of resilience and triumph.
So as I said, the whole district. This is a share. I said, no, no, be able to fit more dog comparable. Then the class, ye crop, yes, share said, dodgy. Away over the whole Ghana crowd, a champion.
Charles' breakthrough has attracted the attention of the Ghana Cocoa Board. During a recent visit, the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Cocoa Board, in charge of agronomy and quality control, Dr. Francis Barr, hinted at plans to deploy experts to study the soil, topography, and climate suitability for large-scale cultivation.
I've worked in Cocoa Board 34 years now. We never expected to find cocoa in this part of. What it shows is that if you create the environment for cocoa, cocoa will thrive. We are going to bring a team to do, he said the cocoa itself is 2.1 acres. After we've walked a little round, you can see that the land that potentially could hold cocoa is likely to be 10 times that. So we'll bring a team, surveyors to come and survey the whole area. We'll bring a team from Cocoa Research Institute to do an in-depth, environmental assessment, species assessment, and all the other things we need to understand.
With support, more people could take up cocoa farming in the northern parts of the country, adding to national output. This is particularly important as the traditional cocoa regions now face stress from illegal mining, which has partly contributed to the reduction in Ghana's output over the past few years. Christopher Mwako, TV3 News, Solna Yili, Nanumba North Municipality.
You're also watching News 360 on TV3. We have sports, entertainment, and more after this break. Stay with us.
This training center is not going to be only for Ghanaians. ECOWAS countries that want to send their students to train, other African countries that want to send their students to train will come here to Hohoi and come and train in signals and intelligence surveillance. This is a forward-looking initiative and one that will define the future of Ghana's intelligence ecosystem. As part of our long-term vision to modernize national security, government is investing significantly in technology, infrastructure, and capacity enhancement across the intelligence sector. These investments include deployment of 60,000 additional surveillance cameras across the length and breadth of our nation, installation of 500 new 4G and 5G communication sites, upgrading an integrated national security communication system using advanced analytics and artificial intelligence, and construction of a new data, surveillance, and cyber defense center in Accra to serve as the headquarters of the National Signals Bureau. And finally, expansion of modernized regional command centers, just like this one, across the length and breadth of our country. Together, these upgrades will strengthen collaboration among security and intelligence agencies, better protect our digital and financial systems, and enhance our ability to respond swiftly to emerging threats. To the gallant men and women of the National Signals Bureau, your work, often unseen but always very impactful, forms the backbone of Ghana's security. Professionalism, your discipline and loyalty to the Republic are commendable. As you take up this new operational capacity in the Volta region, know that your service is fundamental to Ghana's economic renewal and national progress.
Time now for us to do sports. Aniela Alote is standing by.
Segment is brought to you by Sasso Insecticide Spray and Coil.
It's time for sports here on News 360. I am Aniela Alote. We start off on the domestic front with game week 13 of the Ghana Premier League. Nations FC staged a comeback to defeat Heart of Lions 2-1 at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. We have the highlights available.
Emmanuel Arno, but look at another chance.
And there's a chance for Freeman. Hit it! And there is the opening goal.
Bano Hasselhoff, look at the builder from Bismarck and he swept it in. Razak Samson have a touch, not the best of that. Forced to Samson Freeman, and just look at the quality of the hits there. And absolutely, Osman Rano cannot do anything about it. Player to score in games involving Nations FC and Bano Hasselhoff. Interesting, isn't it?
Lovely skill by Brandon. Holds it, the ball over the bottom. Oh! And that is the equalizer for Nations FC. They didn't need their player to have the final touch. It was Heart of Lions doing all the work at both ends of the field. And this will go down. Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, there's still 1-1 here. But then ball forced kindly to Bedu, hits it hard. And that is a goal! That is what could be a winner for Nations FC in this cagey encounter at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex with just 5 minutes to go. It is Prince Bedu who stuns the visitors with a well-taken goal from a distance. No one saw it coming. No one saw it coming.
Proceeding to the 2026 World Cup, Ghana has been drawn in Group L alongside England, Panama and Croatia. The pairing was confirmed in the draw on Friday with a number of diplomats and former players watching in anticipation here in Accra. 3 Sports' Billy Shen was present and has filed this report.
Scene of excitement at the USA Chef de Mission's residence in Accra, where Ghana learned their 2026 FIFA World Cup fate. The Black Stars were drawn into Group L alongside 1966 champions England, Panama and Croatia. The watch party, hosted by the U.S. Embassy, the Canadian High Commission and the Embassy of Mexico brought together a distinguished gathering. Former Ghana internationals, diplomats, and leading content creators, all watching intensely as the draw unfolded on the big screen. Ex-players such as Anthony Bafo, Augustin Ahimfo, and Emmanuel Ajimambedu emphasized the importance of thorough preparation ahead of the global showpiece.
It's all boils down to preparation, and you get your players in a good standing, that they will have the playing time, no injuries, and we prepare very well. So whoever that will come, you will be ready for them.
It is England. They did not consider in the qualifiers. But it is football. At the end of the day, if you prepare well and your strategy works, and luck also being on your side, you can win any game.
It's not the first time we are going to a World Cup. This is the 5th time we are going to a World Cup. So we have to prepare technically, tactically, management, the players, and get the best out of the team, prepare them well, and go there with confidence.
With Ghana set to play their group matches in the United States and Canada, optimism remains high about the team's chances of progressing to the knockout stages. Content creators present at the event also expressed confidence in the Black Stars.
It shouldn't be tough for Ghana to get out of this group. Concerning England, Panama, England are the big boys. They haven't lost throughout the qualifying stage. But then I think Senegal played a friendly with them and then disciplined them. So why can't Ghana do the same? It's going to be a very good game. England might have the edge when it comes to qualifying. They might top the group, but it's going to be an interesting group.
I wanted Argentina, but we can't always get what we want. But don't worry, see you at the finals. Mark it down. See you at the finals. Black Stars!
The 2026 FIFA World Cup will run from June 11 to July 19, 2026.
In a move aimed at restructuring and elevating boxing standards in Ghana, Legacy Rise has put together a host of bouts scheduled to take place on 20th December. The highly ranked Theophilus Alute is set to feature in one of the numerous bouts lined up. There's more in the following report.
Lead to the University of Ghana Stadium on December 20, where Legacy Rise have taken upon themselves the mandate to make the festive period a memorable one. In a broader goal of elevating boxing in Ghana, a host of bouts have been lined up with much of the attention centered on 23-year-old undefeated Ghanaian boxer Theophilus Alute. Since turning pro in 2024, Alute is yet to be defeated professionally, providing him with the much-needed confidence ahead of a super flyweight bout against Philippines' Rakinel.
My opponent I'm going to fight, I know that it's not an easy boxer. He's a very good boxer and also a southpaw. It's very difficult to fight a southpaw boxer, so I'm very prepared. Having my coach by my side, Dr. Ferrer aside, so I'm fully prepared. It's really strong. I'm going to win 20th December, definitely. This is not my first time going to fight a foreigner boxer. Like I can say, in amateur, I always say that God polished me in amateur to come and shine professional. Then that's what I've started now.
Alute's dedication, consistency, and unique work ethic are attributes his coach Dr. Ofori Asare believes will make him a world champion soon.
Yeah, we've been very consistent since he turned pro 2024, and we have been consistent up to date. If we break, then it is a break for rest. But always we bounce back competitively, working towards the world title. And that is how it has been, consistency from the beginning to the end.
Fans are set to enjoy the time of their lives when the heavyweights collide on December 20 at the University of Ghana Stadium.
Moving on to the English Premier League, Emiliano Buendia shattered Arsenal's 18-match unbeaten run with a 95th minute strike that sealed Aston Villa's dramatic 2-1 win over the league leaders. Meanwhile, Manchester City's emphatic 3-0 victory over Sunderland places them just 2 points behind the Gunners. That will be all for sports here on News 360. I am Aniela Alute.
Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil, powered by 3 Entertainment.
In entertainment tonight, the head of station at 3FM, Lois Kisiedu, says the Cerelac 3FM Family Day Out was a major success, citing the impressive attendance, the diverse and thrilling family contest, the strong security arrangement, and the seamless coordination of the event. She told 3 Entertainment that the team is motivated to deliver an even bigger and better experience in 2026 with the goal of creating unforgettable moments and strengthening family bonds.
Every day we party, every day we party, now every day we party, every day.
The Cerelac 3FM Family Day Out welcomed families to the Good Park of the Accra Mall to participate in a wide range of fun-packed activities, including thrilling family competitions that kept both children and adults engaged. The exciting games and competitions kept patrons energized throughout the day while creating memorable moments with their families.
I think I'm very proud, and it is because of her teachers and her mother. They taught her how to dance very well, and she has learned the act. I also went on stage to dance, and I also sang Adam's song. I think we are very happy to come to this event today.
Parents lauded 3FM for the exciting range of family competitions, tight security, and the smooth coordination.
It was fantastic. It was good. We have fun. Oh, I'm happy because my child brings more gifts. They have given us Cerelac, more Cerelac. It's good for her.
This is my first time experiencing this, and it's been amazing, honestly. I was even telling my colleague that I love how the organizers, they've organized everything, so I love how everything is going. They've done well. They should keep on with the good work they are doing.
The head of station at 3FM, Lois Kisiedu, described the event as a success, noting it achieved the intended purpose.
There was a lot of preparation. Having to deal with kids, you have to carefully plan it. Security was on point. We had to make sure there's a hospital on site so that if there are any injuries, we can take care of it and all of that. We've had countless number of people come through and troop out, So in all, it's been a successful event.
Kwabena Isiedu Adakwa, the category manager infant nutrition at Nestle Ghana, noted that the team is highly motivated to deliver bigger and better experience in 2026.
Engagement of the participants has been amazing because we didn't expect people to be engaging during Compass performance. If you look at what is happening right now, everybody's eyes on the stage. The recipe corner has been a success. The area for the kids, oh my God, it's been super. For me, level of engagement has been great, and that's what I'm really proud of, because we wanted really families to connect, and it's exactly what is panning out here today.
Kwabena Isiedu Adakwa hinted the team may consider replicating the experience in other regions.
Look, expect a bigger one than what you are seeing now, and we now have to start considering the regions, because I'm sure people in Kumasi are wondering, people in Takrade are wondering, Koforidua. All I have to tell them is they should watch out for Famila.
Let's now bring you some international news.
At least 11 people have been killed in a mass shooting at a hostel in South Africa. 14 others were wounded when gunmen stormed the venue in Salisbury Township, west of the capital Pretoria, early on Saturday. A 3-year-old is among the dead. The motive of the shooting is unknown and no arrests have been made. It is the latest in a string of mass shootings that has rocked the crime-ridden country in recent years. Sudan's paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF) has accused the government-aligned Sudanese Armed Forces (SAF) of waging an attack on a border town near Chad as war in the country rages on deep into its third year. The RSF alleged that SAF used drones in the attack at the other border crossing. The border crossing point between Chad and Sudan has been vital in humanitarian and delivery during the ongoing brutal civil war. Throughout the conflict, Chad has received thousands of Sudanese people fleeing the bloodshed amid a devastating humanitarian situation.
And that's how we end News 360 tonight. My name is Grace Hamwajuman.
And I am Noble Crosby. And there's more news on our website, 3news.com. Please do well to log on for more. Good evening. Bye-bye.